What's up, everybody? It's your boy Hawk, and welcome back to another episode of Hawk's Hoops. The trade deadline just passed, and surprisingly, we had a decent amount of trades. I'm not gonna lie, going into the trade deadline, I wasn't expecting much to happen. I didn't think major players would be moved. It was kind of quiet in the beginning, but we did have a couple of what I would call blockbuster trades. So let's go ahead and talk about some of the trades that happened. I'm not gonna sit here and cover every single trade. Some of them are absolutely useless, and I don't really care. But some trades really perked my interest. I've already went on a rant on my last video, talked about Andre Iguodala's trade and how I thought it was wild how he was able to sit out for the season. But my feelings aside, honestly, I think it was a good trade for the Heat. Iggy is a player who probably can add some benefit to that team. He can play good defense. I don't think he'll be the elite defender that he was the last couple of years, but he's still a person, even if he's not an elite on-ball defender, he knows how to play defense. He knows how to play team defense. He'll be a good locker room guy. He talks on the floor. He can handle the rock a little bit. It's another ball handler that they can use. Maybe use him a little bit how the Warriors were using him. Maybe, like I said, not to that extent, but I think it's a good pickup for the Heat. Honestly, I don't really know what the Grizzlies got out of this. Like, I know they picked up Justice Winslow. They got Deion Waiters in it, but they've already waived him, and they picked up Gorgie Jang. I don't think they're necessarily good or bad pieces. I think there's just more pieces. Dang isn't really that old. Maybe he can fit in with the young core that they have going there. I think this was more so just them an attempt to get rid of Iggy, get rid of Jay Crowder, and just try to go all in with the young guys they have. The Timberwolves came through and made a blockbuster trade. There was a ton of rumors surrounding this, but honestly, I didn't think it was going to happen, at least until the offseason. I didn't see a reason for either teams to make this trade at the trade deadline. The Timberwolves gave away Andrew Wiggins, a protected 2021 first round pick, and then a 2021 second round pick. And in return, they got D'Angelo Russell. We all know D'Angelo Russell is an all-star caliber guard in this league. D'Lo and Karl-Anthony Towns are boys. You know, they've been saying for years they want to play together. They're trying to get the book to play with them. We'll see what happens there. I don't necessarily think that's going to happen, but we know at least D'Angelo Russell and Karl-Anthony Towns have wanted to play together for years now. They've been good friends for years. They're excellent offensive players. I think this is really good for them. The pick and roll between D'Angelo Russell and Karl-Anthony Towns is going to be really, really nice. Don't expect this team to be able to play a lick of defense, but they're going to run that score up on you, and you're going to have to score with them to keep up. On the flip side, I'm happy for Andrew Wiggins. He's able to go to a new place, new location, fresh start. The media, fans, the league has all been waiting for him to be this player that we expected him to be as a #1 overall pick, with getting comparison to Kobebryant at the time and Tracy McGrady when he came into the league. And honestly, we all know he hasn't lived up to those expectations. He started out this year really hot, and everyone's like, oh snap, is this Andrew Wiggins' year? And then it turns out he was back to his old self. His first game with the Warriors was pretty good. He had 22 points, some rebounds, some assists, some steals. Granted, they lost that game, but I'm expecting him to continue to lose a lot of games until Steph and Clay get back. And honestly, this is good for the Warriors because they don't need him to be Kevin Durant. I can see him being better than what Harrison Barnes was. So if he's somewhere in between, this is a good trade for them. So somehow, some way, the Cleveland Cavaliers picked up Andre Drummond for like a bag of chips and spare lint out of their pockets. The Cleveland Cavaliers received Andre Drummond, and they traded away Brandon Knight, John Henson, and the 2023 second round pick. Two things came to mind when I first heard this trade happen. One, why did they even make a move for Andre Drummond? It's not like they needed another big man on their team. They already got Larry Nance Jr., they got Tristan Thompson, they have Kevin Love. I don't understand what was the need for another big man over there. This trade also showed me that the NBA doesn't really care about centers unless you're considered a generational talent center or a new center who can shoot the ball, assist, score, rebound, play elite defense, which Drummond can't really do any of those. He can rebound and he can, be kind of decent on the block. He's an excellent rebounder, probably the best rebounder in the game. But teams aren't really valuing, a center who can only really rebound that much. He can't shoot at all. He can create a little bit on the block, but it's not like he's going to create for the block, get double team and kick out and create for others. That's not really his game. And so I don't think teams really care to have that type of center anymore. Because from what I can see, it doesn't look like a team that was contending made an effort to pick up Drummond. I don't really know what Drummond's going to do. He has a player option for this upcoming season, so he could opt out and, decide to be a free agent. There's not a ton of great free agents in this class, so maybe he can finesse the team to give him a bag that he actually wants to go to. But we'll see what happens. Marcus Morris was a big trade commodity that the Clippers and the Lakers were really trying to fight over. Ultimately, he ended up going to the Clippers for Mo Harkless and the 2020 first round pick. I think Mo Harkless gave them more defense, but when Marcus Morris was with the Knicks, he was averaging about 19 points a game. Obviously, I think those numbers are going to come down. They're going to run some lineups when he's starting some games, maybe coming off the bench some games. But it's just another player who can handle the ball a little bit, shoot a little bit, score a little bit, and just help bolster that offense. This team is getting really, really deep. They're getting a lot of players who can actually play basketball. They don't have necessarily a lot of specialists that, oh, he's our shooter, he's really our defender. They got people who can just hoop, and that's really good. I think he fits that, that grindhouse, that dog mentality they got going over there on the Clippers. Like I said, this was a really just good move for the Clippers to continue to build that depth moving into the playoffs. And the last trade I want to talk about is this huge 4-team, 12-player deal that involved Robert Covington going to the Rockets and the Rockets trading away Clint Capella. There was a whole lot of other players involved. Like I said, it was a 12-player deal, 4 teams. I'm not going to go into details of all of that. I just really want to talk about this new Rockets experiment of trading away pretty much their only center that they were playing. They still have Tyson Chandler on the team. A lot of people are forgetting about that, but they weren't really playing him at all. And picking up another 3-and-D wing. The Rockets are really going all in with this. We're just going to outshoot you from 3. Pretty much at all times, have about 4 or 5 people who can hit an open shot from 3. And that's giving Russell Westbrook and James Harden a crazy amount of room to drive to the paint, create their own shots, just get buckets. And it's been more amazing watching Westbrook in this scenario than Harden, because Westbrook is, when you watch him, especially in that Lakers game, and even in the game they lost against the Jazz, he's just getting to the cup whenever he wants. He's going to the basket. He's driving past the bigs. There were a lot of times that they were playing bigger people on him. Like Kuzma had spent some time guarding him. I saw Dwight Howard guarding him. Anthony Davis was guarding him. Rudy Gobert spent some time on him against that Jazz game. And he's really been able to blow past these bigger defenders. And when he gets to the rim protector is already behind him, so he has an open field when it comes to finishing at the basket. And defensively, at least what I saw against the Lakers, yes, Anthony Davis scored like 30-something on him, but his field goal percentage really wasn't that great because the Rockets, I think this has forced the Rockets to play better team defense. I think they were relying on Clint Capella to guard those bigs, to stop those bigs, so maybe the guards weren't hedging over to help the paint as much, or maybe the small forward wasn't coming over to help the paint as much. But now, because you got somebody like PJ Tucker, or I even saw some possessions where Eric Gordon was guarding Anthony Davis, that, Harden is coming over, Russell is coming over, somebody else is always coming over to help. Their rotations have to be quick. Granted, do I think they can continue this level of defense throughout the season? I'm not really sure. PJ Tucker just turned 35, or he's turning 35 soon, and a lot is going to be riding on his shoulders defensively guarding these centers in the league. But at the same time, outside of maybe like the Lakers and the Nuggets, no other team really runs a ton of their offense through their center, so it's not like they really got to worry about it that much, at least in the regular season, to continue getting wins. Now when it comes time to the playoffs, when we all know the game slows down, you start feeding your bigs a little bit more. A Rockets-Nuggets matchup would be very interesting. A Rockets-Lakers matchup will be very interesting to see how that plays out. But for now, it's really, really exciting to watch. Those are my thoughts on the trades that happened, the week leading up to the trade deadline and the deadline day itself. Really looking forward to All-Star Weekend this week. Dunk contest, 3-point contest. Interested to see if Team Giannis can stand a chance against Team LeBron. Because if you ask me, it looks like LeBron picked his whole team and Giannis got leftovers. But let me know what you think down in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks so much for watching. I'm out. Peace.